One of the most common questions I get asked when people find out I had quit my job 16 months ago and moved to rural Bulgaria alone is how I make my money. How do I support myself and my free lifestyle without a stable paycheck? Most people believe you need a job to be able to afford your life, but I'm here to prove you otherwise. There are countless other ways of building a comfortable lifestyle, but some of the practices might be a bit more unconventional and creative than a simple 9 to 5. The secret is in being open-minded, flexible, and resourceful. And the key? Being able to live with less, being mindful with your consumption, and humble when it comes to material possessions. In this video, I want to share with you how I'm able to afford my lifestyle without having a job, savings, or anyone else to support me financially. I'll share my income sources and tips to break free from the exploitative employment system. Alright, let's get this party started. Before I quit my job in January 2025 and started this whole no steady income experiment, I worked very intensely for 2 years and managed to save up a nice chunk of money. Most of it went on a savings account and is meant for purchasing a property here in Bulgaria once I find a suitable one. The rest, about 3,000 euros, I allocated for my monthly expenses and was basically just hoping that they last as long as possible. I was thinking after they run out, I would have to find another job, but I was willing to take a chance and just see what happens. That money ran out much quicker than I thought, mainly because I have bought an old car in order to actually move to Bulgaria. So since June last year, I've been without that cushion of savings that was meant for my living expenses, and I've been pretty much winging it since then. I never thought I'd be able to live comfortably without a normal job for a whole year and a half, but somehow, month after month, I'm getting through. Sometimes with more ease than other times, but generally, I'm so grateful I just don't have to go back to that pressure, depression, and grind. Hello guys and good morning. Welcome to Bulgaria. It's Monday morning and I've been taking it slow and easy, like I do pretty much every morning, just taking my time, no rush, this is the beauty of slow living here in the countryside. It's quite funny because I always thought that I'm not a morning person. Turns out I am a morning person, just not when I have a 9 to 5. But that's not what we're gonna be talking about today. I get asked a lot how I'm able to afford this lifestyle without having a job, having any savings and anyone to support me financially. No, I don't have a sugar daddy, unfortunately. I'm here all on my own, taking care of myself. But to be able to understand how I'm able to do that, I want to tell you a little bit about my job, what I did previously, about my career. So for almost 20 years, I have been working in media publishing. I started as a journalist and a fashion stylist. So basically the area was fashion and lifestyle. For 9 years, I worked at Elle magazine in Slovenia. I started there as an assistant to editor-in-chief, and I was also the fashion stylist and journalist. And then slowly throughout the years, I progressed into being the executive editor of Elle magazine. I was simultaneously working for 2 other magazines as well because they were under the same publishing company. So I was the fashion editor of Cosmopolitan as well and fashion editor of a magazine called Story. My duties were everything from, editing and being in charge of the content, of the photo content, of the written content. I was a journalist, I was a reporter, I was still a stylist, and we were also working on a lot of events, It was a lot. Before really starting this career, I was also doing like many other things. The thing is, like, the good thing about this job, the good and the bad, is that we were all self-employed. It was kind of a 9 to 5, but a little bit more flexible, I guess. So we were able to do other projects as well, not like every day, but let's say on a monthly basis. So I was doing a lot of different projects as well inside like styling and journalism and editing. But before that, I was also working on a cruise ship as a photographer. At the end of the career, I was also working in hospitality. I was one season in a very beautiful 4-star hotel in Slovenian mountains. So I have like a lot of experiences in different areas. But what I focused at the end was kind of like establishing my own little business or side hustle, I guess. When I was living in UK, it was like kind of the pandemic times, so that gave me the opportunity to start something on my own. And this is what I'm gonna show you a little bit later today. But basically, it's a mentoring and consultation business for fashion professionals and fashion brand startups. I should also mention that pretty much the only reason why I'm able to afford this lifestyle is because I keep my expenses super, super low. And I made a whole video about this. I break down what are my monthly costs and budget, because I'm able to live here rurally in Bulgaria for basically around 300 euros per month. So if you haven't seen that video, I'm gonna link it, so do watch that. All right, welcome to my beautiful office, which is a dining table. And I love it actually because I can just look out, gaze into the distance and into the green. No, but honestly, there's enough space and I can have everything here. The only bad thing is probably this chair. I actually do have an office chair, but it just looks very strange here. So I suffer on this dining chair, but it's fine. I mean, for those few hours per day that I do my work, it's fine. So what do I actually do to make money? One of my main income sources is YouTube. But contrary to what people think, considering the amount of time and effort spent producing videos, the return is very humble. Not a great investment at all. And a very inconsistent one. Last year, I already surpassed an income of 200 euros per month from Google Ads that are placed on my videos, and then I fell down back to 100. My last paycheck from Google Ads for April was just 75 euros. I spent on average about 16 to 20 hours on one video, depending on the format and editing details. And that's just long form videos. I also create lots of short content which practically doesn't bring in any income. So in April, I posted 4 long form videos and 23 short form videos, which took me about 80 hours altogether to create. That means I got paid less than €1 per hour. For anyone thinking they can make a quick buck with YouTube, think again. I've been on YouTube 6 years already, and I still can't make a living off of it. But like anywhere else, the more you put in, the more you get out. May will be a much better month, surpassing 250 euros. But I put in almost twice the amount of work and got lucky with one video going semi-viral and bringing in 130 euros with 65k views. So you never really know. I could literally be a millionaire with the next video. It's all up to the algorithm gods. When it comes to making YouTube videos, the preparation, the scripting, the filming is definitely the more fun part. But then comes the post-production, the editing part, which basically means that I'm sitting behind the laptop for hours and hours and hours, and it doesn't matter, rain or shine. On a beautiful day like this, I would much rather be outside than sitting here and editing, but this is my investment, I guess, and hopefully someday I can actually reap the rewards of all this work that I put in and be able to sustain myself just by making YouTube videos. It's 2:30 and I've been sitting here behind the laptop for hours now. I think it's time to take a little break and go out, enjoy the sunshine. All right. I also just want to mention that I have a privilege a lot of people might not have. If the worst comes crashing down, I can always go back to my family in Slovenia. There's always a room in my parents' house if I need it. I don't take that for granted, nor do I take advantage of it, but it does provide me with a sense of security and gives me confidence to do these kind of experiments and make bolder life decisions. I think this just shows how important family, friends, and people we surround ourselves with are for the trajectory of our life, the choices we make, and the path we dare to walk. Because walking alone in the dark is way scarier than knowing there's people there that have your back. So to all the loving people in my life, thank you for all your love and support, especially in those times and decisions when they made zero sense to you. Having that safety cushion to fall onto means I can dream bigger, travel further, live bolder and happier. I'm not rich in material possessions, but I am rich in experience and connections I have with my loved ones. Definitely one of the best things about my workday is that I can start whenever I want, I can take a break whenever I want, and I can finish whenever I want. Well, I sometimes have deadlines, so I have to be mindful of that, but I'm the master of my own time, which is, I feel a luxury when you're like employed and working a 9 to 5. So I definitely prefer this, being in charge of when I can take my breaks and make the most out of the day. When it's sunny, I try to spend more time outside. If it's raining, then I don't mind being behind a laptop. So it's hot though, so I'm in shade. It's end of May and I'm already seeking shade. What's to come? I really needed that break, and also I needed to wash my hair. But now it's time to explain you my main source of income Is it main? It's not always the main, but it's something I've been doing for years, like I said. So when I was living in London, I started this as a side hustle. Now it's just kind of like a freelance, time to time gig. Sometimes I have a few clients per month, and sometimes there's a month when I have 0 projects and 0 clients. So you really never know. It's very unreliable. But most of the clients that I get for my mentoring consultation business, I actually get from Instagram. Now it's become kind of word of mouth, where one fashion professional would be really satisfied with my services and would kind of spread the word. That's like the best thing, the best way to get clients. Yeah, it's not very consistent. I would say right now I have 2 or 3 clients where I have meetings, like online mentoring sessions, maybe like once per month or once every 2 months. So you see, it's it's not like it's a weekly. I wish if I had a client or 2 every week, that would be perfect. So for those clients, what I do is basically mentor them, guide them, support them on their career journey in the fashion industry. A lot of them are photographers, some of them are fashion startup brands. Funnily enough, right now everyone is based in UK. I also had some clients from Slovenia, some clients from East Coast of USA, like New York City based. Otherwise, I work globally for every kind of market. So I post a lot of content that's related to that on my Instagram. And I also write articles on Medium that are about careers in the fashion industry. And then another source of income is a Fiverr platform. So this is my profile on a Fiverr platform. It's basically a freelance platform where you can get people to do all kinds of jobs: graphic design, program tech, digital marketing, video, writing, music, business finance, AI services, all kinds. I'm actually one of the rare that works in the fashion industry and has so much experience, so that's an advantage. But there aren't so many people from the fashion industry on this platform looking to get people to do jobs. And I provide different kind of services like resume writing and editing, art direction, business strategy and innovation consultations. I do public relations, career consulting, resume designs, and portfolio designs. This is basically it. And then, like I said, it just depends on month what kind of projects I would get. Right now I'm working on 2 separate projects through Fiverr platform. One is I'm helping design a portfolio and application for applying to a fashion university. And another one is I'm helping to rewrite and re-edit a resume for a girl who wants to apply to some fashion jobs in the UK. Because these projects vary from month to month, it really depends how much I would earn. Some months it's 0. I would say average would be from like 100 to 300 euros. Yeah, but it's not consistently every month. Just fingers crossed I get more projects. Definitely if you need some work like branding or writing, copywriting, things like that, hit me up. I'm gonna link everything in the description. And then there's a few euros every month that comes from different sources, like online marketplaces where I'm still selling all of the belongings I have in Slovenia. Most of the bigger things I've sold now, but I still have some clothes, accessories, books, and so on left that I won't be bringing to Bulgaria. I sell some of my things on Vinted. If you want to check it out, I will leave my link in the description. I also get a few donations every month through my Instagram followers and YouTube subscribers. If you'd like to support me, you can donate through PayPal, Revolut, buy me a coffee, well, beer, or become a member of the channel where you'll get exclusive content. I'm actually going through a bit of a dry patch right now, which happens sometimes between projects, so you have no idea how much of a difference a few euros can make. It really helps tremendously. So, a big thank you to anyone who has and will be donating. It really is appreciated. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for saving my bum. I have to say, mindset has a lot to do with enjoying my life despite such unpredictable income stream and the ever-present pressure of society to submit myself to the employment system. I too grew up believing I just need to work hard and everything will be provided for me. That money equals safety and security, and that most efficient way to get money is to have a regular job. That might all be true, but capitalism pushed it so far out of our natural being that it became unsustainable for millions of people around the world. Breaking free from these patterns that are so deeply engraved in us isn't easy. Sharing it online, well, you have to be a little bit crazy. No matter how easy or brave it may seem, I still have to work on breaking these patterns every single day. Breaking the belief that I need to work hard to deserve to live on this planet, that I need to follow some made-up rules which aren't even in my benefit, but they're benefiting corporations and money-driven individuals that have nothing in common with me. I have to get out of my programmed mind into the heart and reach deep. Put all my trust into the universe. The right opportunities will arrive. Money comes and goes, but I'm always taken care of. Yeah, I've spent most of today inside behind the laptop working, which isn't ideal. The whole point of this life is to take advantage of the beautiful surroundings and beautiful sunshine that we're having. But it is Monday, and I do like to get the majority of my workload, either if that's just editing or if I have some other projects on Fiverr or mentoring. I like to get it out of the way so then for the rest of the week, I can be a bit more free with my time. I will probably have to do a lot of work still tomorrow, but that's tomorrow. Let's enjoy today and then later go back to editing. It's 7:30 and I just finished the first cut of the video and most of the Fiverr projects that I had. So yeah, I was working so if I started 10:30 and now it's for 9 hours and a half. So see, more than people would work in their workday. Okay, I took a half an hour break, which most people get for their lunch. So yeah, you see, I do work. It's not like I'm just... And people write sometimes comments that I'm lazy and I don't do anything and I'm just laying around watching the sun come up, listening to birds. Yeah, sometimes I do that for hours when I can, but when I have work, I work. And you also have to maintain the property. Like, there's grass to be cut, there is weeds to be weeded, there's all kinds of stuff happening. Honestly, I'm never bored. There's always stuff to do. And if there's nothing to do, I'm just then watching movies and chilling. And I need that too. That's also work. That's my body regenerating, renewing itself, replenishing. Dushko is also chilling, so take it from the animals. Like, most animals sleep for the majority of the day and night. We're the only animals on this planet that work for a living, to afford a living, which is just bizarre to me. But that's a topic for another day. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. So I would love to hear from you. If you live rurally, if you don't have a job, or you retired early, or live an alternative lifestyle, how do you earn your money? I appreciate your tips and stories. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you in the next video. Love you, bye!